students. As we have started with the 9th standard science, that is the chapter Diversity in Living Organisms. So as we discussed in our previous class, millions of species of organisms we find in the world. Okay? So because of their uses, harmless, economic use or disease causing, because of all these our uses, the scientists they started classifying the organisms into different groups. So that we are going to discuss. So as we have started already, so let us learn the hierarchy of a classification. So in the previous class already we have discussed the meaning of the classification, students. So let us learn the hierarchy. Which should come first, which should be the second, which should be the third. Like that, they started making the groups of organisms. Right? So that is called as hierarchy of a classification. So this hierarchy of a classification is done by many scientists. The important three scientists are Ernst Haeckel, the second scientist called Robert Whittaker, and one more called as Carl Woese. So these three scientists, they try to classify the organisms and they classified. Okay, so how they classified? They thought instead of making the small groups of organisms, let us make one big group of the organisms. Okay, so that big group they have named it as the kingdom. So we will start classifying the organisms as a kingdom. So these are the organisms which belongs to one kingdom. Means how they have made the kingdoms? That is based on the cell structure of the organisms, their behavior, what is their body organization. So depending upon all these factors, they classify the organisms in different kingdoms. Right, students? So that is the hierarchy of the classification. So this hierarchy includes, what are all the steps? The first, you have to divide them as a kingdom. Next, as a phylum. Next, class. Already you are familiar with this because 8th standard also we have discussed the hierarchy, right? So class, order, family, genus, and the species. Okay, so this is for the hierarchy of the classification of organisms. First we are going to divide. The organism belongs to which kingdom? Then it belongs to which phylum? Class, order, family, genus and species. How we are going to divide all this? Based on their behavior, similarities and the differences. Okay? Based on the similarities and differences, their mode of nutrition, how they will undergo the reproduction, how is their cell structure. Based on all these factors, we are going to divide the organisms based on their levels called hierarchy. Right, students? The scientist Robert Whittaker, he classified the organisms in 5 kingdoms. The first one, as a kingdom, Monera, Protista, Mycota, Plantae, and the Animalia. Can you see? Okay. So the scientist Robert Whittaker, he classified the organisms in 5 kingdoms called as Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Mycota, Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. Let us study all these kingdoms one by one. What are the characteristics, which organisms comes under which kingdom? Let us discuss. Before we start with the Kingdom Monera, we have to discuss one more point, students. That is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. We are dividing the organisms as a prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. How are you going to divide the organisms as pro and eu? Based on the presence or absence of the nucleus. Okay, all the organisms are not having the nucleus, right? So the organisms which are all not having the nucleus, they comes under prokaryotes. Let me repeat once again. The organisms which are not having a definite nucleus are called prokaryotes. What about the eukaryotes? The organisms which are all having definite nucleus. They are having nucleus, nuclear membrane, all the structures they are having, they are coming under eukaryotes. Because students, throughout this kingdom, we are going to discuss these 2 points. Monera comes under prokaryotes or eukaryotes, protista, which type. Right? So let me clarify the meaning of prokaryotes and the eukaryotes. So for prokaryotes, what you will write? Without nucleus. And this is with the nucleus. Fine? Till there you can see? Okay. Let us start with the first one, that is Kingdom Monera. What are all the characteristics of the Kingdom Monera? Before I start with the characteristics, I would like to give the examples first. The examples for the Kingdom Monera like bacteria. You are all familiar with the bacteria. Last year we have discussed the structure of the bacteria also. Right? Let me draw one graph diagram, students. All the bacteria are not having cell wall, remember? Right? Cell wall, cell membrane. Few bacteria are having one more outer covering, that is called capsule. Right? And here you find the presence of flagella. Flagella we find, rough students it is. And inside the cytoplasm, what I am going to draw? There is no nucleus. This is the nuclear material. Nuclear material. Material means it has not converted still into definite nucleus. It is under the path of evolution. So it is not having the nucleus. It is only having the nuclear material. Then we, under which category I have to put the bacteria now? Yes, it belongs to prokaryotes. So remember students, among these 5 kingdoms, only the Kingdom Monera is a prokaryote. Remaining all the 4 are eukaryotes. Only Kingdom Monera, example like bacteria, which comes under the prokaryotes, means without the nucleus. Not only bacteria, we can take blue-green algae. In short, we are going to call it as BGA, blue-green algae. Okay, this blue-green algae are green in color, round ball-like structures we find. So these are having green color, means they can prepare their own food, right? But these are not having a definite nucleus, right? So blue-green algae, bacteria, it may be the example like cyanobacter, right? So these are all cyanobacteria. definite nucleus, so comes under the prokaryotes. Cell wall is present, right? And what else we find? Some are autotrophic and some are heterotrophs, right? Both the categories we find. Sometimes prepare their own food, some are dependent on each other. And the reproduction, asexual type of the reproduction takes place in the kingdom Brunera. Next, students. Structure of bacteria. Kingdom Protista. Let us start with the second kingdom, that is kingdom Protista. What are all the examples of the kingdom Protista? Amoeba, Euglena, Protozoa, see students, what is the meaning of protozoans? Amoeba, Euglena, Paramecium, Entamoeba, all these together, a group name is protozoa. Okay, protozoans, these are called. Which of all protozoans means what you have to say? Amoeba, Euglena, Paramecium, all these examples you have to start. Okay, how many cells these are having? Single or many? Single cell. So what to explain? These are unicellular. In Monero also unicellular only you find. These are prokaryotes or eukaryotes. Let me draw the amoeba structure for that. As you know, amoeba is not having a particular shape, right? It is having a nucleus at the center. This is the pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. Mitochondria you find. Food vacuole and the contractile vacuoles. This is the structure of amoeba. Not having a particular shape, single cell, nucleus is present, pseudopodia which helps for the movement, having food vacuole and contractile vacuole. Food vacuole because it is having single cell. It has to take the food, everything from the pseudopodia it will take. The food will go to the food vacuole where the digestion, assimilation, all the process takes place. Then unwanted food will go to the contractile vacuole. From there it will be excreted out from the body. Right? So like this we find the body structure. What happened here? There is a definite nucleus. Then can I add it as prokaryotes or eukaryotes? Yes, these are eukaryotes. Unicellular eukaryotes. What is the mode of nutrition? How they will take the food? Few are autotrophs, few are heterotrophs. Right? If you take the example of Euglena and all, they are autotrophs and few are heterotrophs. This is about the kingdom Protista. Note down students, unicellular, eukaryotes, autotrophs as well as heterotrophs, flagella, pseudopodia, hair-like projections are present which helps for the movement or to engulf the food inside the cell. And this is about the kingdom Protista. Diatoms are examples of Protista. Let us start with the third kingdom, that is kingdom Mycota. Kingdom Mycota is also called as fungi. You can call it as fungi, fungi, pronunciation differs, students. And you are familiar with this kingdom. During rainy season, when a tree trunk is decaying, or it may be the waste materials, the heap of the waste material is there. On that, you find the growth of, see this type of the structure you find. Correct? Actually, this is called as agaricus and it belongs to the Mycota. See, no? Just recall. And if you have kept any food items and all, or fruits, if it is started decaying, when the fruit is completely ripened, still if you have kept it as it is, on that you find the white pottery type of the substance, or it may be brown color, different color you find. That is also nothing but the fungus. Day-to-day language we are going to call it as fungus, right? So that is also the fungi or the mycota. So the examples for the kingdom mycota are yeast, agaricus, right? Agaricus, it may be penicillium, or aspergillus, so these are all the examples to the kingdom mycota, right? How many cells these are all having? Yeast and all is having single cell, means unicellular, and these are all multicellular. So how can I generalize? Kingdom mycota, few members are unicellular, few members are multicellular. But remember, they are having a definite nucleus. So what can I explain? These are eukaryotes, having a definite nucleus. And these cannot, any member you take, they cannot prepare their own food. So these are strictly heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means they cannot prepare their own food. Then how they are going to take their food? What is their mode of nutrition? Wherever these decaying substances are there. Now just now I gave you the example of fruits or cooked food. The fruits are having the organic substances that these mycota are going to take. Right? So what is their mode of nutrition? They will feed on dead and decaying organic matter. The organisms which are all feeding, means taking their food from decaying, they are called saprophytes. Called as saprophytes. Means these members are unicellular and multicellular, having the eukaryotes, heterotrophs and the saprophytes. This is the special character we find among these 5 kingdoms, students. In all the 5 we are going to say either autotrophs or heterotrophs, but here these are saprophytes. What is the meaning of saprophytes? Which will feed the food from dead and decaying matter. Okay? So like this we find, and some members of the mycota may be along with the lichens, may be along with the blue-green algae, because what happens, students? These cannot prepare their food, so they are dependent, they are attached with some other organisms, right? So this is about the kingdom mycota. Mushrooms. Examples to the kingdom fungi. Fungus to the plants. Kingdom plantain and kingdom animalia. We'll study in the next class. Okay. So what are all things we have discussed today? We discussed about the hierarchy of classification, and we discussed that Robert Whittaker has classified organisms under 5 kingdoms. And among 5 we discussed the Monera, Protista and the Mycota. Right, students? So today's home assignment, draw a neat labeled diagram of bacteria and amoeba. Remaining we'll discuss in our next class. Thank you.